Every night I abuse my 3 husbands, yet they don't even fight back. They even wag their tails and fawn over me. Because they aren't human at all, they're vicious beasts. Only under my whip do their emotions settle down, and they shift into beastmen. And I'm the only beast tamer in this beast world. Every male beast schemes to become my beast husband, just to earn a single soothing touch from me. But in modern times I was a pet groomer my boss worked to the bone. And after pulling an all-nighter and dropping dead, I somehow got transported into a bizarre beast world novel. Became the infamous female everyone here loathes. When I opened my eyes I was holding up a lavish leather whip, and in front of me was a beast-eared man tied to the bed. His eyes were bloodshot, every nerve taut like he'd go berserk any second. He was Bai Yi, the untouchable war god of the White Tiger clan. But because the original owner was the city lord's only treasured daughter, he was forced to stay. As a beast husband, he's either getting beaten or swallowing insults every day. Staring at that outrageously handsome face twisted with rage, there was only one word in my head: nice. As a seasoned corporate wage slave, I knew I'd run into someone I couldn't mess with. My knees reacted faster than my brain. I tossed the diamond-studded whip aside. With a thud, I dropped into a full-on knee slide. The instant Bai Yi opened his gaping maw and lunged at me with a rush of wind. My work reflexes beat out my fear. I shut my eyes and yelled, "Big kitty, don't bite." Then I immediately cupped his massive tiger head in both hands, my left hand stroking straight down along the spine, while my right hand went in with a seriously professional chin massage, and I even expertly pinched the scruff hidden under his fur. And the bloodthirsty war god who'd been ready to take me down with him actually froze under my practice petting, and not just froze. He even slipped into an adorably babyish state. Even those fluffy ears he usually kept pricked in and went limp with pleasure, flattening into airplane ears. His throat even started purring uncontrollably. His berserk value dropped to 0 in an instant. Even he stared at me in shock, like he was looking at an alien. Ding, a heavenly chime rang out in my head. Congratulations, host, the god tier group chat system has been activated. As long as I touch something fluffy, I can unleash top tier mental power and cure all berserking. My eyes lit up instantly. How is this a hell mode start? This is practically my domain. Right as I was hugging the tiger's head and inhaling like it was catnip, even planning to pry it open to peek at its pink paw pads, bang. My rickety wooden door was kicked clean off its hinges. My other 2 beast husbands, Lang Xing and Hu Yu, burst in covered in wounds, charging like they were ready to die. Think they were here to save me? Wrong. They heard the commotion and thought I'd come up with some new perverted torture trick that I was torturing Bai Yi again, so they came in ready to fight me to the death. Lang Xing clenched a sharpened shard of metal in his hand, like a lone wolf driven into a corner. Hu Yu's alluringly handsome face wore a cold, resolute sneer, and he'd even hidden poison powder ready to go down with me. But when they saw what was actually happening inside, they all froze dumbstruck. When they saw the scene inside clearly, they were all dumbfounded. The vicious female they loathed to the bone was sitting cross-legged on the floor, and their aloof war god big brother Bai Yi was lying on his back, looking utterly humiliated yet blissfully resting his chin on my knee. Looking at this wolf and this fox, one all wild boyish energy, the other a wickedly handsome scheming brainy killer, totally my type. But the killing intent rolling off them could freeze you solid. I swallowed hard. I threw both hands up and back down at the speed of light. Eyes don't hit me, this is all a misunderstanding. From now on I'll cook for you. Do laundry, brush your fur, I swear I won't hit you again, okay? The tear mole at the corner of Hu Yu's eye twitched, and he let out a cold laugh.
You managed to set the wooden hut on fire just boiling water, and you're saying you'll cook for us? More like you want to spike the food with arsenic and poison us to death.
Lang Xing bared his fangs and moved to shield Bai Yi.
You vicious witch, what kind of dark spell did you put on Brother Bai Yi? You vicious witch, what kind of dark spell did you put on Brother Bai Yi?
I looked at these 3 big shots with terminal level paranoia and took a deep breath. I needed a don't believe me, huh? Then today I'm gonna show you country bumpkins what a dimension-reducing strike for modern food looks like. To save my own skin, I spent the night tossing the original owner's barbed whips and iron chains into the fire pit, using them as kindling. From today on, that vicious side chick is officially gone. Standing before you is the max-level owner of the God tier group chat system, Gold Medal Pet Groomer Xianxia. If you want to tame a beast, you start by conquering its stomach. You know what these wild big shots usually eat. Rock hard raw meat. So I pulled out my signature skills, grilling pork belly on a stone slab till it sizzled and simmering a big bone soup until it turned milky and rich. I even secretly sprinkled on my soul cumin and chili powder I'd traded for in the system shop. The moment the aroma drifted out, I clearly heard it from inside the 3 war gods' stomachs. At the same time, their stomachs rumbled like thunder, but these 3 were on high alert. They thought I'd laced the meat with some weird poison. They all shot me nasty looks, even whispering right in front of me. That showy red fox who you pinched his nose in utter disgust, his long narrow eyes brimming with scheming.
Do you smell that? That sharp strange scent. Bet it's some new weird powder from the black market. That vicious woman's trying to knock us out so she can turn our fur into coats.
The moment Lang Sheng heard that, his wolf ears bristled in fury, baring his teeth and growling threats like a rabid dog guarding its food.
I knew it, her sudden kneeling was never out of kindness. That red powder on the meat has to be a deadly poison. Her brother by Yay. If she dares to force us to eat it later, even if it takes my last breath, I'll lunge over and bite her carotid artery out first.
And Bai Yi, the aloof war god big brother, let out an arrogantly cold snort. His scarlet slit pupils locked onto the roast meat in my hand. His throat, Adam's apple, bobbing like crazy while his mouth kept spitting the toughest talk.
Hold your breath, all of you. Don't fall for her stupefying scent. Hold your breath. Don't fall for her stupefying scent. Even if a war god starve to death here today or jump off this cliff, I still won't eat a single bite of that vicious woman's food.
Listening to them whisper they'd rather swallow their drool than open their mouths, I couldn't help but roll my eyes hard. Fine, you don't believe me. Without another word, I grabbed a handful of sizzling, fatty pork belly, and right in front of them I demolished 3 huge skewers. 5 minutes later, the aloof white tiger took a tentative first bite, and his pupils shook like an earthquake. He immediately started chewing faster.
So damn good. Ah.
The feral silver wolf Lang Sheng didn't even spit out the bone. He crunched it up and swallowed it. In the end, these 2 unrivaled beasts fought over the last big bone in the pot, and immediately reverted to their true forms and brawled right there in the yard. Now that they're fed, it's time for my one-sided, unhinged big cat cuddling and puppy snuggling session. At first they were on high alert against my wandering hands, and the moment I got close to Bai Yi, he'd glare and growl.
Back off, don't touch me.
And what happened? I just grabbed him by the back of the neck, pinched that soft spot, then gave him a full body stroke down. 1 second he was about to lash me with his tail, the next it was wrapped around my wrist, and his eyes narrowed in pure bliss. He peeked at me with half-lidded eyes, so I went in for another full-body rub. And that ice-cold throat of his couldn't hold it. He started purring like he was acting cute. And that puppy wolf Lang Sheng, 1 second he was baring his fangs to warn me.
Touch me one more time, and I'll bite your throat clean through.
Then the next second, and as soon as I scratched under his chin, this savage lone wolf just flopped down with a smack and went limp on the ground. His front paws started kneading the air like crazy, totally out of his control. And he even rolled over to show me his fluffy belly, inviting me to rub it. Does everyone in the beast world eat this well? How is anyone supposed to resist this? The hardest one to deal with is that show-off red fox Hu Yu. That guy's got more schemes than holes in a lotus root. He's scary smart, and he watches me every day like I'm a thief. I sprinkle a little salt into the pot. He says I'm poisoning it. I smile at Bai Yi. He claims I'm casting some evil witchcraft. He claims I'm casting some evil witchcraft. He even hides up on the roof beams every day to keep tabs on me, with those 9 huge tails swishing like a radar. Fine, so you're the high IQ black-bellied type, huh? So you won't take the toast you're asking for the hard way, huh? Then one night while he was asleep, I quietly crept up to his bed, staring at those 9 huge fluffy tails. The hardcore fluff lover in my DNA went absolutely feral. I went straight for a modern pet groomer's ultimate fox handling technique. My left hand ran down his spine, giving him a full-on massage all the way. Hu Yu's eyes flew open. He was just about to grab my throat with killing intent. My right hand precisely caught the base of his ear and rubbed like crazy. The mighty fox Big Shot's legs went weak, and he melted straight into my arms. His face turned bright red. Even the tip of his tail curled up in embarrassment. He clamped down on his lip, yet still let out an incredibly shameful little whimper. I cracked up on the spot, so this whole time the Grand Fox Big Shot, the mastermind behind the Merchant Guild, was someone who, if you so much as touched the base of his ear, would go limp all over one sensitive little prince. From that day on, the Hu Yu who guarded against me like I was a thief was gone, replaced by someone who every night at midnight turned back into his fox form and secretly tried to tempt me with 9 tails, scheming as hell. You tell me, guys, this bunch of ferocious beasts who used to want to slice me into 1,000 pieces pieces. Their whole vibe has gone completely off the rails. These ferocious beasts who used to want to carve me up, their whole vibe has gone completely off the rails. Bai Yi, the icy war god who once wanted to kill me if I so much as touched him, now heads out before dawn every day. Bang. A mutated wild boar taller than a 3-story building gets slammed into my yard by his bare hands. With that handsome face still stone cold, he shifts into a cub, jumps into my arms, and his ears are so red they look like they'll bleed.
The praise for you. So, can you pet me a little more today?
As for Lang Xing, he took two-faced green tea hypocrisy to the absolute limit. 1 second ago, he was still at the tribe gate ripping the provoking beastman into a bloody mess. The next second, he came limping and threw himself into my arms, turning into a cub. With teary eyes, he pointed at a red mark on his thigh that hadn't even broken the skin.
This brother Bai Yi is way too rough when he hunts. He scared me. Not like me, I only know how to dote on you. I need kisses and hugs from you to feel better.
Who you dropped the act completely. 9 fluffy giant tails were wrapped around a dozen top-grade gems tied with leather straps. With a clatter, they were all dumped right in front of me. His long, narrow fox eyes practically crackled with charm.
Now on, the vault of the biggest trade guild in the beast world is yours. And you're mine. Whoever dares make you work, I'll bury them in money.
Watching these 3 top-tier hotties fight over me every day, jealous as hell and competing like crazy. Mia, the tribe's two-faced saint, was so jealous she was practically grinding her back teeth to dust. That day, while my 3 war god husbands were out hunting, she straight up spent a fortune to lure in a heavily frenzied stray fallen beast. With a thunderous boom, my roof was blasted clean off. A massive mutated bear. It appeared before me, covered in mottled dark markings, its enormous paw slicing through the air as it swung straight at me. That enormous paw sliced through the air, coming straight for me. Mia hid outside the door, grinning so hard her face twisted. So Xianxia, this day next year will be your death anniversary. Tear her to pieces for me. At that critical moment, with me on the verge of death, the group chat system in my head maxed out its passive defense. My voice cracked from fear. Eyes shut, I roared, "All of you get down." A blinding ring of white light burst outward in an instant, centered on me, lighting up the whole tribe as bright as day. That 8-eyed giant bear that was about to eat me a second ago. With a pop, it shrank into a panda cub, spun in midair smooth as silk, then ended up belly up and slammed down hard right by my feet. Then it nuzzled against my toes and even squeaked in a cutesy little voice, "Ying ying." Then naturally rolled over and offered up its fluffy belly, patting its chubby tummy with its front paws, begging me for pets. Mia, waiting outside to watch me get torn to pieces, had her smile freeze instantly, her jaw practically dislocated on the spot. No way, that's absolutely impossible. No, this is absolutely impossible. That's a high-tier fallen beast that recognizes no one, not even its own kin. I crouched down without hesitation and gave the little bear's soft belly a rub. Not only did it not get mad, it cooperated like crazy, rubbing its head against my hand. I walked over and with a backhand delivered a big slap, sending me a spinning 3.5 turns on the spot. Surprise, shocked, I don't just spare lives, I'm a living, walking giant catnip on this continent. That one fight rocketed me straight to no one on the Beast World trending list. I Xiao MS rank. The name of my absolute healing power spread across the entire continent overnight. Those tribal beastmen who'd been sure I was doomed all knelt in front of the crumbling ruins of my home, practically grinding their knees to dust. The tribal chief wept with joy and called an emergency tribal assembly overnight. He even ignored the murderous looks from my 3 war god husbands. And in front of everyone, Thumpy threw himself down and hugged my leg. Right there in front of everyone, Thumpy threw himself down and hugged my leg.
Lady Zhu Xiao, your healing power is the one and only legendary S rank. In our tribe, males die every single day, bursting apart from going berserk. We beg you to show mercy, please save everyone. As long as you're willing to step in and soothe them, you're the hope of our entire village.
Just thinking about all the different fluffies I could pet every day, do it. Absolutely have to. So I made a big decisive gesture and overnight requisitioned the biggest stone house in the center of the tribe. Had them build 10 extra large luxury cat trees plus slides, seesaws and all that, turning it straight into a cub zoo. And I hung a wooden sign at the door, Xianxia's mental power clinic. After a grand ribbon cutting ceremony, we were officially open for business. The result was my harem. Ah no, my private clinic absolutely exploded within a 500 li radius. A rampaging big shot from the deep mountains, a peerless beast from the wilds. Even the arrogant pure blood tyrant from the neighboring tribe came overnight with their bedrolls, dragging their entire fortunes, practically throwing themselves at me. Every morning, The moment I opened the door, good grief. On the left was a Black Panther chieftain with top-grade spirit herbs in his mouth, tail wagging, begging me to give his ears one little pat. On the right was a guy holding up a chest packed with pure gold and gemstones, kneeling on the ground. The blood corpse leader begging for a 3-minute chin scratch, just to cut in line. These guys who normally, at the slightest disagreement, would wipe out a whole city, actually started brawling right outside my clinic. They fought so hard the ground ended up carpeted with pricey beast fur. I straight up turned dangerous survival in another world into an assembly line pet grooming salon. I sat in a pure gold boss chair using my left hand to perform the fierce beast fur smoothing technique, soothing a 2-headed giant eagle that was about to go berserk. With my right hand I did a soul level massage, kneading a badly injured rhino until it hummed in bliss. My 3 husbands weren't idle either. I roped all of them into being security guards and front desk cashiers. Bai Yi stood at the door keeping order with a frosty expression.
Line up. No line. No pets.
Lang Xing held a chipped bowl, collecting the registration fee at the entrance. If anyone dared short him even 1 spirit stone, he'd bare his fangs. Who you? Clicked away at his gold abacus, grinning like a shady merchant.
VIP annual. Passes this way, please. Top up 10 spirit stones and get 1 full body brushing session by the mistress.
By the end of the day, my hands were about to develop a patina from all that rubbing. I was so exhausted I felt completely drained. Staring at the mountain of pillow towels, I was suffering but oddly happy. Who gets it? Guys, I clearly came here to save my own life. So how did I accidentally become no one on the Beast World Forbes rich list? And somehow I turned into the most miserable and richest wage slave. Until one day I was about to hang up the clothes for today's sign. Boom. There was a loud crash at the clinic entrance, and a black-robed man wreathed in black smoke slammed down. Boom, there was a loud crash at the clinic entrance, and a black-robed man wreathed in black smoke slammed down. Good grief, that lethal high-tier miasma killed the greenery by my door on the spot. The moment he opened his eyes, a terrifying pressure swept the entire area, nearly ripping the roofs off half the tribe. Bai Yi Lang Xing. And who you 3? Top-tier war gods went on high alert, shifting instantly and planting themselves firmly in front of me. Hu Yu clenched his teeth and warned me completely on guard.
That's the missing tyrant of the central tribe, Wuxia and the Black Dragon.
Eyes, who understands this? That's an actual dragon? They say 1 sneeze can trigger a tsunami and 1 tail swipe can level a mountain. A true pureblood, no less. The next second, Aotian pushed through the pressure from all 3 of them, blinked right in front of me and clamped a hand around my throat. His crimson dragon eyes locked onto me. The corner of his mouth curled into a cruel, twisted smirk.
Such sweet spiritual power, woman. I'm going to swallow you whole. Woman, I'll swallow you whole, leave not even a bone.
But as an overworked wage slave who'd been pulling overtime for a whole month, my hands nearly cramping up, I was 1 spark away from blowing up. Like I give a damn if you're a dragon, try wrecking my place after hours. Snatched up the metal grooming brush beside me and swung with all my might, and smacked the black dragon square on the forehead. Swallow my ass, mess with my livelihood, and shrink now. And a miracle happened this absurdly. That arrogant tyrant black dragon, after my rage-fueled slap, had the red in his eyes vanish instantly like a huge question mark popped over his head. Then poof, a puff of white smoke rose up, and instead of getting mad, he turned all pouty and shrank into a thumb-sized adorably dopey little snake. And that wasn't even the worst of it, shameless as hell. He slithered up my arm and clung to my wrist like he owned the place. Head to tail, he made himself into an ice-cold genuine leather bracelet accessory. Well, great, now there's an extra dragon in the house. How is this thing some world-ending peerless feral beast? It's obviously a thick-skinned, shameless, clingy snake. My 3 beast husbands completely lost it. My 3 beast husbands completely lost it. After that, my place staged a cross-species 4-man showdown every single day. The moment Bai Yi pulled me into his arms, about to have me soothe him, Yoshun would turn into a little black snake and wriggle into my collar, freezing me into shivers. Lang Xing was so mad he sharpened knives in the kitchen every day, wanting to soak Aoshun in medicinal liquor. Hu Yu was right there, feeding them terrible ideas, flipping through cookbooks all night to figure out how to stew it. Dragon and Phoenix, super tonic soup. Every day I'm stuck between tiger roars, wolf howls, fox yelps, and dragon cries, like a zookeeper on the verge of losing IT. But that chaotic fun didn't last long. Nia, that clingy little two-faced saint, started stirring up trouble again. When she realized she couldn't beat me head-on, she actually teamed up with the black market shady underworld and paid a fortune for a deadly poison that could instantly dissolve a female's spiritual power, then slipped it into my personal water flask. The moment I took a sip, it felt like 10,000 rusty steel needles stabbed into my brain. My spiritual power drained out instantly, and I let out a wah right then and there, spitting a huge mouthful of black blood before before my vision went dark, and I collapsed. My eyes went black and I passed out cold. I was done for. Everything was crashing down without my spiritual power holding them down, plus that freakish poison catalyzing in the air. My 4 unrivaled beast husbands' eyes instantly turned blood red, and they all plunged into an unprecedented deep frenzy at the same time. 4 top-tier war gods went berserk simultaneously, and a terrifying aura of death blanketed the entire tribe in an instant. Bai's tiger roar shattered every pane of glass for 3 miles around. Bang Sing's claw gusts sliced the stone lion at the village entrance into neat pieces like sliced bread. Ioshin transformed into a colossal dragon and rained down hellish black flames from the sky on anything and everything. The beast folk nearby were so scared, they bolted overnight like they were hauling a whole train with them, shoes flying everywhere. This was basically a one-sided hell-level massacre in the making. And Bai Yi, who'd completely lost his mind, driven by a beast's bloodthirsty instincts, caught the scent of my weakness in the room and let out a deafening feral roar, then slammed through the wall and charged straight in. His tiger claws, sharper than blades, swung toward my unconscious body as he lost control. Out of control, he slashed down at my unconscious self, cold-blooded and merciless. With the blade only 0.1 centimeters from my neck, the system in my head blared a piercing red air raid siren. Beep, beep, beep. Host detected in critical condition about to croak. To protect this system's year-end bonus, the KPI legendary domain level group chat has been forcibly awakened. I snapped my eyes open. The system instantly purged every last toxin from my body. Then boom, my whole body lit up blazing with radiance, like a giant humanoid little sun with a built-in saintly halo. Or rather, I'd turned into a walking, oversized catnip plant, shedding impossibly pure light packed with world-shaking healing power that instantly blanketed every corner within 10 miles. Just a second ago, they were bearing fangs and claws, 4 berserk big shots ready to level the entire continent. Under this literally exorcism-grade light, they let out a single howl, and all got forcibly slammed on pause. Yeah,